Assalamu alaikum. My name is Hafsa Yasin, and today we are here with another topic, that is foreign policy of Pakistan and its components. So firstly we will go through that what is foreign policy. A country's foreign policy, also called as foreign relations or foreign affairs policy, consists of self-interest strategies chosen by the state to safeguard its national interest and to achieve goals within its international relations melee. So what basically foreign policy is? It is basically to establish relations between one state and other states. The relations which are established between two states are basically consist of self-interest strategies which are chosen by the state. Like both of the states are involved in the relations for some strategic interest, and ultimately these relations are built to basically safeguard that national interest. Like your national interest must not be harmed because of the foreign policy you are going to maintain with any of the state. And ultimately your ultimate goal must be to maintain your relation and to maintain your links with the international with different states. So what basically foreign policy is? It is basically to maintain the relations between different state by safeguarding your national interest, and by choosing some strategies to maintain those relations, and ultimately to achieve some specific goals. Foreign policy of Pakistan. If we talk about the foreign policy of Pakistan, then Pakistan's foreign policy seeks to protect, promote and advance Pakistan's national interest in the Committee of the Nations. So basically Pakistan built relations with the states where its national interest is basically the most priority. Foreign policy of Pakistan took new turn with the passage of the time, like other states, including some permanent ideals. Like ultimately, uh, when the time changed, the foreign policy of any state basically changed. Same is the case with the Pakistan. When the time changed, when the circumstances changed, when the different events change, ultimately the foreign policy of Pakistan with different nations or with the different states basically change. As there is the time when Pakistan has good relations with India, and then there is the time when Pakistan has really bad relations with India. Then there is the time when Pakistan was not a very good ally with Afghanistan. Then there's the time when Pakistan was very good ally with Afghanistan. Then there was the time when Pakistan was very good ally with Iran. Then there was the time when Pakistan was not a good ally with Iran. Then there was the time when Pakistan has a good relations with China. Then this is the time when Pakistan has very good relations with China. Then there was the time when Pakistan's policies were most influential by the different foreign states like America. Then there's the time when Pakistan basically takes stance for their own policies. So foreign policy basically changes with the change of the time. Ultimately there was the time when Pakistan wanted to build relations with the USSR. Then Pakistan decided to build relations with the USA or with the Western Bloc. And ultimately basically as the time changed, ultimately the foreign policy of Pakistan basically changes. So there are different principles of Pakistan foreign policy in Bayan of Kayat. uh, Whenever we are going to make relations with any of the state, ultimately we have to follow these principles to maintain or build relations. First one is peaceful coexistence. Like ultimately we will be peaceful in the world, and we need everyone to be peaceful with us. uh, then non-alignment, we will not make alignment in with any of the state for their personal interest. Ultimately we will remain will remain on the neutral side, and we will remain peaceful uh, to the world. United Nations Charter, we will follow the United Nations Charter, where there are the conditions uh, to basically maintain peace in the world. Bilateralism, support to right of self-determination. We will support the right of self-determination for other states, and ultimately we want that same right. We wanted that same right of self-determination for our state too. Unity of the Islamic world, Pakistan will focus, or Pakistan basically focus on the unity of the Islamic world, and basically it always uh, tries to unite it always tries to unite the Islamic states at one place. De-weaponization, the principle of Pakistan foreign policy is to de-weaponization. Like ultimately we will spend less on the weapons, and we will spend more on the development of the economy and all. Establishment of peace, we will basically focus on the establishment of the peace. Good relations with the neighbors, international and regional cooperations. Ultimately Pakistan will focus on the international and regional cooperations to basically build the economy and the developmental sector of the Pakistan, as well as uh, Pakistan will give benefits to the other states as well. Different phases of Pakistan foreign policy. There are different phases of Pakistan foreign policy. Foreign policy is the name of the running country's affairs, maintain the relationship between one country to another country, safeguarding the interest of the country, and keeping the state safe and secure. Then importance of foreign policy. Why foreign policy is basically important for any of the state. First one, it is not possible to safeguard the country's interest unless necessary policies and strategies are to be formed, which is the result of adopting firm and practical foreign policy. Like we cannot basically safeguard our country interest, whatever our interests are, unless we don't maintain relations with other countries. As we can say, there is this one interest, this about the food sector. Like there are not all of the food items or food ingredients which are basically grown in Pakistan. There are many items which are grown outside of the state in different other states. So this is country's interest that we will build relation, we will build trade relation with that country, and we will offer them some product, and we will in return we will take some products, or might we will offer that those products to another country, and we will get our required product from another country. So in this case we basically build or maintain relations. Same is the case if we don't have good relations with one state, we have to build relations with another, good relations with another state, to basically to help us whenever we are in need, whenever we wanted someone to basically help us. So to attain honor and security of one state and its political stability from other states, through which a country can become friends from one country and the vice versa, by dealing with the diplomatically to attain states protection. Like we have to deal with other countries diplomatically, we have to take care of their interest, and we have to take care of our interest whenever we are going to make relations with any other country. So implementation of foreign policy. There is basically these are the methods through which we can implement the foreign policy. First one is the political method. Political method, like the person has basically the ability to deal with any of the state on the basis of his his charisma, his charismatic personality, or whatever we can say. So we can take the example of Imran Khan. He's basically a charismatic personality. Ultimately, people basically get attracted to him. So he uses the political methods to basically maintain foreign policy and foreign relations. He also used the psychological method, like he basically plays with the minds of the people, and ultimately through this he basically maintained good foreign policy with other states. Then there are economical methods, as we have already discussed, that we build trade relations with other countries. We provide them with the products that are basically that they basically needed, and we got the products which basically we need, and through which we basically maintain the economical relationships. Then there are the military methods. There are some states which are not strong militarily. We basically provide them aids. We basically provide their like military trainings. We basically provide them weapons, and through this method we basically maintain the military foreign policy. Then there are the cultural methods. There are many of the countries, like if we are the Muslim countries, there are different countries which are Muslim countries, and on the basis of our same culture, on the basis of our same tradition, on the basis of our same religion, we can maintain relations with other countries. Foreign policy making agencies of Pakistan, the people or the agencies or the institutions which are responsible to maintain foreign policy in Pakistan are following. First one is the president, like the president of Pakistan, who is basically the head of the state as well. Prime minister, who is the head of the government as well, is basically responsible to maintain foreign policy in Pakistan. Then there's chief of army staff. Then there's, because chief of army staff is also responsible to take part in the foreign policy of Pakistan, because he's the one who is securing the borders, and he's responsible to secure the borders of the state, and he knows that how we have to build relations with the neighboring countries, or with the countries from which we have threat, or we can take help whenever we are in need. Ministry of Foreign Affairs, there is a particular ministry or department of foreign affairs which is responsible to make foreign policy as well. Intelligence agencies, because these are the agencies which basically provide the necessary information to the state about the good and bad relations with the different countries, and how one country can basically benefit us, and how one country can benefit us, and how one country will basically give is going to plan something bad against us, or one country is going to plan something good against us. So this is what all intelligence agencies took take part in the foreign policy making process in Pakistan. Then there are political parties in the pressure groups. Whenever a state maintain relations or make a foreign policy with any of the state, and if the state is like kind of state we don't have good relations, and our state basically tries to maintain, our government basically tries to maintain good relations with them, then political parties basically uh, pressure the ruling party that why they are going to maintain good relations with them. There must be the circumstances on the basis the political parties will pressurize the government. Then there are the pressure groups. Pressure groups are basically also the political parties. Pressure groups are the businessmen's. Pressure groups are the industrialists. Pressure groups are the NGOs. Pressure groups are the unions. So all of these people can basically pressurize the government for the foreign policy making process. Then there is the parliament. The people, all the selected National Assembly members can also participate in the foreign policy making process in the Pakistan. Determinants of the foreign policy. There are basically two types of determinants. One is external determinant, other is internal determinants. External determinants, like the determinants which are involved uh, outside of the state in the foreign policy of making process in Pakistan. First one is the power structure, like how our power structure uh, is basically presentable to the external world, and how on the basis of that power structure we will maintain the foreign relations. International organizations, they are different international organizations which are working for the different stances. So we have to maintain foreign relations on the basis of the like vision and missions of those international organizations. A reaction of the other states, we have to build relations on the basis of the reaction of the other state. Like if we wanted to maintain good relation within a state, but ultimately the next state is not much eager to maintain good relations with our state, then this is how. So on the basis of that reaction, we will maintain our foreign policy. Then there is the word public opinion. Ultimately, the opinion of world related to your state matters a lot. On the basis of that opinion, the tourism basically depends. So on the basis of this, we basically develop our foreign policy. We basically allow people to visit our state, or we basically don't allow people to visit our states. We on the basis of this, we maintain the alliances with the state. Then there are internal determinants, historical background, that what our historical background is in history, what a state did to us. So on the basis of this, we will maintain the foreign relations. Size and geography. Geography basically is basically very important for the foreign policy relation making, as like ultimately with which state we have good relations, with which state we have bad relations, and on the basis of this, we will maintain the foreign policy. Then there are natural resources, the natural resources which are very important, like we have the salt, is very important for the world. Ultimately, we know that no food can be completed without the salt. So we have that natural resource, and we can export that natural resource. The states which basically need that natural resource will wanted to maintain foreign relations with us. Industrial development, economic development, industrial development, military power, these are the components that we have already discussed too. Then there's population. According to our population, we have to provide the basic necessities to the people, and if our basic necessities lack our production, we need to basically import those products. Then good governance and leadership. Good governance internally, if our leadership and governance is good, so we can maintain good relations with other countries by saving our personal interest. Then there's quality of diplomacy, political organizations, role of media, and think tanks. Think tanks are basically we can say different NGOs, industrialists. We can say different like the people who are basically experts in some fields, and they basically provide their opinion. The researchers, they are all the think tanks. Foreign policy analysis. So assessment of international and domestic political environment. Whenever we wanted to analyze the foreign policy between one state to another state, what we will do, firstly we will assess the international and domestic political environment, like the in political environment in that state and political environment in our state. We will set the goals that on we will attain those goals whenever we will build relation with that country. Determination of policy options, we will maintain different options, and then we will choose the best options. Formal decision making actions, like ultimately we will take the formal decision. We will get information, proper information. We will take like opinion from the experts, and then we will take a decision. And implementation of chosen policy option, like after that we will implement the chosen policy option. Main themes of the foreign policy of Pakistan, like these are the themes on the basis of this which we basically build for relationship with other country. National security, like the security of the state, economic interest, Islamic solidarity, peaceful coexistence, non-alignment, bilateralism, and United Nations. Evolution of from 1947 to current, like with time to time, the foreign policy of Pakistan basically keeps on changing. So we will go through this completely. First phase. So in first phase Pakistan was basically uh, exploring and friendship with all. Like we will exploring the options that what are the states we need to build good relations, what are the state we don't need to maintain relations. So we were basically deciding that we will keep stay neutral and we will build relationships with all of the states. But 53 and 62 was the era where we have decided to alignment with the West. Basically at that time there were two blocks, Eastern Bloc and Western Bloc. The Eastern Bloc was basically headed by the USSR and Western Bloc was basically headed by the USA. And Pakistan thinks that because USA is going to be an emerging power, it's going to be like a very strong state, so we need to maintain relationship with the USA. So we decided to go with the Western Bloc. Second phase, where we took the transitions, and we have basically decided that now we will neither go with the Eastern Bloc nor go with the Western Bloc, and we will do the non-alignment, like we will not build kind of relations with the state where we will make one state our friend and other state our enemy. We will maintain a bilateralism, like neutral relationship with the state. Then Afghanistan, and in 1980 to 1990 there was Afghanistan in partnership with the United States. There was a war in Afghanistan. Russia or USSR basically have attacked the Afghanistan, and Pakistan have helped the United Nations to fought this war in the Afghanistan, and we were the partners with the United States against for the war in the Afghanistan. Then there's the third phase where 1990 to 2000 was the post-Cold War era and Pakistan dilemmas. Uh, Ultimately, the war between uh, like Pakistan was basically supporting America against the war against the Russia in Afghanistan. The war was ended, and ultimately all those people who were basically fighting the war against the Russia in Afghanistan have created a great problems. The people we known as Taliban in the Afghanistan. 2001 to onwards counterterrorism, so America basically decided to take action, and in 2001 America have basically attacked Afghanistan, and they have basically decided to fought against the Taliban in the Afghanistan. And Afghanistan, the Taliban who were fighting against who were already fighting against the Russia in Afghanistan, later basically thinks that now Afghanistan is there, and they have basically decided to put their rules. And now what basically happened, that all of those Taliban went against to Pakistan and America as well. Pakistan's relationship with China. Pakistan has a long and symbiotic relationship with China that is based on mutual support. Pakistan-China relation began in 1950 as Pakistan was the first Muslim country to establish relationship with China, and Pakistan has helped China to build a relation with the Muslim world, and now Pakistan have very good relations with China. We have we have gone so far, and it is to be said that the friendship between Pakistan and China is above is higher than the mountains, and even deeper than the sea. So basically we have very good relations now. Pakistan and China are working along a project that is known as CPEC, that is China Pakistan Economic Corridor, and ultimately this project will benefit both of the state in economic and as well as in political terms as well. So Pakistan's relationship with Afghanistan. uh, Pakistan's relationship with Afghanistan, both the countries are the part of the SAARC, like South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. Both countries face significant challenge in their respective security, political and economical issues. So Pakistan have not very good relations with Afghanistan, and ultimately people in Afghanistan think that because of the Pakistan we have suffered a lot, and Pakistan have sent Taliban in Afghanistan, and they have created a huge mess in the state of Afghanistan. Pakistan's relationship with India between India and Pakistan have been stressed by a number of historical and political issues. Pakistan have fought almost 3 to 4 wars. Uh, Pakistan have almost fought 3 wars with India on the issue of the Kashmir. First one was the war in 1948, then war in 1965, then war in 1971, then the Kargil war. Even though both the countries share historic, cultural, geographic, and economic links, their relationship has been plagued by the hostility and the mistrust. So recommendations, integrity of the state. There are different recommendations whenever we are going to formulate a policy. Integrity of the state, internal security of the borders, development of the state, protecting of the honor of the state, safeguarding the national interest, Kashmir issue. Like whenever we are going to maintain a policy with and relations with any of the state, we have to uh, keep in our mind that we will not compromise on the Kashmir issue at all. Require peaceful methods while dealing with the international conflicts, balance relationship with powerful states, China and USA, to promote relationship with the Muslim countries and to promote international peace. Next is to balance relationship with powerful states like China and USA, to promote relationship with the Muslim countries, to promote international peace, to help Afghanistan in its dialogues process, strengthen relationship with the neighboring state, including India, providing safe passage to energy deficit state energy corridor, and play its role to normalize relationship between Iran and Saudi Arabia. Hope to see you in the next lecture, inshallah.